Hello and welcome back to your daily fix with me, Sean Paul Johnston. It is me. I've just shaved my beard off, so a little bit of a change, and I've got some more changes for you coming soon, guys. But going to go through a couple of stories. It's a brand new week, got new stories, some exciting changes that you guys will hopefully be interested in hearing about. Going to jump straight into it with the first story, which was about the Nintendo Switch. So a couple of cool things coming for Nintendo Switch, potentially opening up the doors for new possibilities. The first one was that the kernel for the Nintendo Switch, that's one of the actual main fundamental parts of the operating system or the OS for the Switch, has now been dumped. Now what this means is the potential for homebrew software or homebrew applications is now in motion. Now there is some people online that are a little bit worried about this, that it's going to open up the door to piracy. I think this is one of these things that is guaranteed to happen at some stage. It's just a matter of time. And Nintendo is they're quite forceful in like stopping that whilst it happens. However, I think when Nintendo's done, they seem to rush it a little bit to market, and it's missing things like the internet browser and apps like Netflix and HBO, let's just say, or YouTube apps. So it's missing some of these features that I think a lot of people, even though a lot of people say they've got other consoles that can do these features, the reality is that's not available for everyone. Some people just want everything in a single device, and if the Switch is their main console, I know from my own personal experience that the Switch for me, I'll sit and play a game, I'll come off the Switch just to take a break, I want to go and check something online, and it would be so handy just to jump in the browser, jump onto Facebook, Instagram or whatever, and do it straight from the Switch, or jump on and watch something like a TV show. However, right now you can't do that, and this is what this might open up the possibility. Now there's a very good chance that Nintendo is ready to launch some of these features. Like, we already know that there is a browser in there. It's the same software that is used in things like the 3DS and the Wii U, but for some reason they've locked this behind like walls essentially, so you can't get to it unless you're doing simple things like uploading a picture to Facebook or your social media. So it is there in the background, it's just not being made available to you as a user, which is unfortunate because I think, like I'm saying, a lot of people would actually appreciate it. So this might force Nintendo's hand for them to prevent people going and seeking alternative options. They might now finally release the browser or even apps like Netflix and stuff. So in some ways it's good, in some ways it's worrying for some people that we might get some piracy, and it's always going to lead to that at some stage. People will pirate things, but I think if you're on the positive side and you're doing it for good reasons, I think that's fine. However, some people will turn to the dark side. It's just going to happen. If you're a VR fan and you've been on the fence about buying a VR headset, whether it's Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, whether it's the PlayStation VR or something else, maybe Samsung Gear or whatever, good news for you. Oculus has reduced the price. It's a limited time thing, so I don't know how long it's going to go on for, and the chances are they'll probably carry it on at some point later on, or they'll bring it back. But they've reduced the price of the Oculus Rift by £200 here in the UK, or $200 in the US. So it's now only going to cost you, this is for the Oculus Rift headset and the touch controllers. In comparison to the Vive, it's just as good, especially if you get the third camera, because you get room scale tracking. But it's one of the best options right now. So you're going to get that now for £399.99 here in the UK, or the exact same in dollars in the US. So we're getting a bit of a shafty deal here in the UK, but you know what? If you've been on the fence and you've got a PC that's capable of it, and you're ready to jump in for £400 essentially, that's a pretty sweet deal. If I had the PC here right now, I'd be all over that, and I'd get rid of the PlayStation VR potentially. Now you're paying only a slight bit more. I think the PlayStation VR is still about $350. You can maybe find it for a little bit cheaper someplace, $300 or something. But you know what I mean, for £100 more, you're getting those touch controllers, which are leagues ahead of the PlayStation Move, and they're better than the Vive's one right now. The Vive still wins on this room scale VR, unless you're buying that extra camera, I think, for the Oculus Rift. So if you've been on the fence about it, now is a great time to jump in. You could always hold off and see what's going to come later on. We know that Vive has now got their new controllers in prototype stage. When they're going to be released, who knows, but that's the knuckle controller, which is even more advanced than the touch one. And we know Microsoft has now got their ones as well, their light ones, I can't remember what it's called, but they've got their ones that they're working for inside out tracking, which is a little bit different from what we're getting just now, which is cameras outside in tracking. The final story is WWE 2K18, so that's the wrestling game. That is coming to the Nintendo Switch. So the cover star, Seth Rollins, I don't watch wrestling by the way, but I know who he is. Seth Rollins, he done a special video announcing that it's coming to the Nintendo Switch, and it's bringing it back to Nintendo platforms. He's a big fan apparently of Nintendo, and it's bringing it back to Nintendo platforms. So that is awesome. It's going to be in the Switch. Now, there was a lot of people were hoping it was going to come. I think there was rumors about it coming. And then as times went on, I think people are thinking that we're not going to get some of these big titles. But you know, that's FIFA 18, that's now WWE 2K18 and Rocket League coming from big developers. These are big titles, big franchise titles coming to the Switch. I think what we're starting to see now is we're starting to see some of the big developers that were maybe holding back a little bit just to see what things were like. And with the Switch selling out still all over the place, they're starting to get on board now. They're starting to say, you know what, let's just get it out. So we might start seeing some of these games that were announced at E3 or before, we might start seeing some of those games starting to get announced for the Switch. It may still take a few months, maybe until the end of the year, like I've said several times, maybe once Mario Odyssey, and we see what kind of numbers that brings in over the Christmas and Black Friday sales over in America and stuff. But if the Switch is close to 10 million or even more by Christmas time, once that comes out, I think we'll start getting more of these games, and it will hopefully alleviate some of the worries about the Switch maybe not getting third-party titles. So that was the three big stories I wanted to let you guys know about today. I've got a couple of comments on YouTube. So the first one I want to give a shout out to was Inception, who said, or Inceptional, he said, I've never really been a fan of Bayonetta. Lindsay will probably be scared playing Farpoint. VR scares me half the time. The second one was I want to give a shout out to Squiddysaurus. Cool name, Squiddysaurus. He said, nice vid, my dude. Cheers, nice name. I want to tell you a little bit, just quickly, briefly. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'll probably talk about it more over this week. There's some changes coming to the studio, so we are going to be moving out of the SmallFryUnify studio, or the space at least. SmallFryUnify will still be going ahead. It will still be the channel on YouTube and social media. So SmallFry is not going anywhere in that sense. We're just not going to be in this space. The game show is going to be getting revamped a little bit as well. So Games Lounge, instead of doing the format where we basically create the content and then get it together and hold it back until the first point of the month, like maybe now we're going to be releasing episode 4. I've kind of held off doing that because what we're going to do going forward is we're going to still record the same content. We're just going to give you it when it's ready. So if we get a review done for a game, let's say ARMS, we'll get that recorded, we'll get it done, and then we'll just give it to you. We won't hold it back for 2 or 3 weeks potentially. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this a little bit more because you'll get content much more relevant, much more sooner after it happens. And obviously anything daily wise, I'll cover that with a daily fix. And then what I can do is at the end of the month, once you've already got that content anyway, then I can put it back together and it can be a monthly wrap up. So it will be kind of Games Lounge in that sense, but I'm just going to focus on like Games Lounge, the show. I think it was a nice idea, and it was my homage to old shows like Bad Influence, Thumb Bandits, Bits, Games Master. But the reality is the internet doesn't want that kind of long format content. I think you guys just want something that's a little bit quicker. You can jump in bite-sized pieces, and the show was broken up like that anyway. But what I found is people will come in and they'll watch 5-10 minutes of the show, maybe not even that, and then they won't watch the rest of it. So they're missing out on some incredible content, and I don't want them to miss out on that, because I think things like the reviews from Connor, the tech videos, even the chat with Kat and everything, this stuff is really good content, and I think if you do get to it, you'll enjoy it, just that people aren't getting to that stage. So I'm going to make that a little bit easier for people to get the content and digest it. Let me know what you think about that. It's going ahead anyway, so regardless of what you guys think is happening, but I think you guys will actually genuinely enjoy it a little bit more as well. And it gives me a bit more time to focus on stuff instead of trying to hit a date and make sure I hit that date and that's where all the focus is, and putting a bit of pressure on everyone, including myself. Now we can actually just get stuff done as it happens, and we can enjoy it a little bit more without the pressure of these time scales. Obviously with a review or something, we'll still try and get that done as soon as possible, and we'll try and eventually get stuff from the actual companies themselves to review them before they release, but for now we'll get them done as quick as possible. So that's one of the big things about the studio. I wanted to let you guys know about it ASAP. I was kind of like thinking about this over the weekend. I've been thinking about it for like a good few months. It will allow me to get things sorted out behind the scenes, refine some of the things, make them much more efficient, and going forward we can start off again at some stage down the line, look for another space that's more appropriate to what I need for SmallFryUnify and the content we're creating, and it'll allow me to take it from there with all this stuff ready to rock and roll. So we've got all the cameras, we've got the lights, we've got all the gear ready to go. And things like the PC Jiv, if you're watching, things like the PC, that can be part of that plan going forward, and I'll be in a much better position to do it financially and content-wise for the show. So anyway, that was it for this one, guys. Leave us a comment and let me know what you think about today's stories and what I've just told you down below. If you were entertained, give the video a like. And remember, if you want to stay updated on future videos, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. If you turn on the notifications, anytime we do go live with live streams like on Wednesday with Lindsay potentially, then you will get notified about it, so you'll know we're on and you won't miss it, because we will be doing a mixture of live and pre-recorded. Anyway guys, that's it for this one. We're all just a bunch of small fries trying to create big things. Thanks for watching.